Good evening. I'm Mike with Grok. I'm standing here with Paul Horvath and Lou Milanesi, and these gentlemen have put together a series of events, candlelight vigils for the Benghazi victims, because, as one of our speakers, Bob Guida, so eloquently put it, we want to keep the story alive one day at a time to make sure the administration and the American people never forget it. So gentlemen, who wants to go first?
Lou can go first. Okay. I don't care.
So go ahead, Lou. Tell us a little bit about how you came to be doing this.
Well, you know, I first heard about this attack. I was at work.
Yep.
And somebody was mentioning that our embassy, that's how it was first put to me, had gotten hit. Mm-hmm. And it was all because of a video that somebody had put out.
Yep.
And I got a little bit of interest on it, you know, and saying, geez, over a video and stuff. And then the next thing I know, it's an attack on the Christians, because they made very clear that it was a Coptic Christian that did this.
Yeah.
Okay, and I said, oh boy, here we are, we're under attack again. Then about a month passed, and my wife was saying, you know, there's really something out about this, a lot coming out that these guys were told not to go help them that were close by.
Yep.
So that sparked my interest, and I started really studying it and reading any kind of information I could.
Yeah.
And finally I said, you know, we need to organize a candlelight vigil like they used to for the Iraqi war, for the Afghan war, and really press that we want answers.
Right, and and you told me the other night that this came to you, this inspiration, listening to Howie Carr saying, you know, now we got a Democrat president in the White House. Isn't it outrageous that there's no candlelight vigils for the war dead in Afghanistan, especially in Iraq to a lesser extent, and now here's Benghazi, and nobody is paying any attention, at least nobody officially, and we can't let them forget.
Exactly. Yes, and I did get the inspiration from Howie Carr. Let's do this. Mm-hmm. You know, so yeah, I got tired of feeling helpless.
Well, 30 people the first time, 100 people this time. We got to make it 1,000 people by the time it's 9/11 comes around again.
I'm all for it.
They will not be allowed to forget. Paul, why don't you tell me a little bit yourself about how you came to get involved with this, how you met up with Lou, or whether you were all both just talking it over coffee and said, let's do it.
Well, I'm an American. When another country attacks an American, I take it personally, like it's my family. You attack my family, you're going to deal with them. And when this happened, I was livid. Why weren't the Marines floating around in the Mediterranean sent to help out? Why wasn't a fast team sent from Rota, Spain to help out? What about the aircraft at the naval air stations in Italy and the Air Force aircraft at the Air Force air bases sent to help? Why weren't AC-130s that were in the area sent to help? Why did we have one or two drones filming the whole thing going back to the White House? Then when I heard the president went to Las Vegas, Nevada for a campaign fundraiser, why didn't he cancel that? Why didn't he take care of America first? That's what a leader does. And when I met, I was here for an Honor Your Oath rally, and somebody come up to me and said, I need someone for you to meet. And I'm like, sure, I'll talk to anybody, left or right, Christian, Jew, Muslim, I don't really care. I'll talk to anybody and express my opinion. I'll listen to their opinion. We either leave as friends or we don't. That's their decision. Lou and I talked. I came here a week later for the first rally. We talked some more, and we decided to do another candlelight vigil. And I want the truth. I want to know what happened, and those who were negligent, committing dereliction of duty, which is the worst crime you can receive in the military. I want answers, and I'm not going to rest till I get answers. Senator Ayotte said she's going to get us answers, and I'm still waiting for Senator Ayotte to find out what happened.
Well, you know, that's one thing. I have my doubts about some of the folks that Senator Ayotte hangs out with, but one thing you can say for sure is that Senator McCain and Senator Graham are not going to let the administration rest on military matters.
I don't trust Senator McCain.
Well,
I think he's going to try for running for president in 2016. This is going to be a campaign issue for him.
I'm not so sure, but either way, they are, you know, she's at least hanging with military hawks on this issue.
Yeah, but he's willing to arm the rebels in Syria that are Al-Qaeda, and they were part of those who attacked us in Libya.
Well, I think that was part of the complications. I've heard theories about whether it was a planned abduction to give him a pawn for the blind sheikh. or whether it was simply that we were involved in arms smuggling ourselves. And you know, let me see, there was a president involved in arms smuggling to help out some poor rebels in the mid-1980s, and they gave him hell for it. And they dragged Colonel Ollie North through the mud for it, and you know, over Iran-Contra. And here we have gun running and missile running too in Libya, and now we're running them to Syria, and along the way we lose an embassy, or at least a mission. What the hell is up with these people?
I believe both. It was gun running and it was a kidnapped ambassador.
Yeah, those are pretty serious charges, but the information keeps coming out a little at a time, and the official story doesn't look good at all. So let me ask you this, gentlemen. There's one, you know, Amity Shlaes wrote of the 30s about the forgotten man. In this story, there's the forgotten man. Who the hell cares about the Coptic Christian who came to this country for freedom of religion, who happened to make a video, and who got thrown in the slammer by this regime to punish him for the supposed uprising over the video? And he's still in jail.
Oh yeah, yeah. And when you think about it, look at the number of people overseas in these Muslim countries, and I'm not picking on the Muslims, that burn the Bible. Does anybody say anything about that? This man cut one video, you know, and I don't think...
It wasn't even a good video.
No,
And who knew about it?
Exactly.
Well, almost nobody knew about it until after the regime said, you know, this is a convenient scapegoat.
And you know, the one thing I will give the people over there for screaming about the video and banding together as they did, even though they attacked the Americans, at least they stood together over it, and they have a strong conviction.
Yeah.
I wish we had more of a strong conviction like this, because we would have had answers. This group out here, I was delighted that we had at least 100 people tonight.
Yeah.
But as one of the speakers said, we should have had thousands. This common should have been covered.
It
Some
should.
people, when you talk to them about Benghazi, they want to know, where is that river and was it polluted? That's where it's at right now.
So what you're saying is we're getting an extreme version of jaywalking, where you go out and ask the question and all the answers are stupid.
Exactly. And you know, put on those awareness bands, wear the awareness buttons.
Yep.
Let's get some answers to this, and let's not let it die. Paul isn't going to let it die. I'm not going to let it die, and neither is the people that spoke tonight and the people that attended this.
Yeah, and by the way, listen to the gentleman from Grok Talk on our weekly podcast, because we're not letting it die either. It gets a mention just about every week.
Good.
Thank you.
And we'll be putting this video up. And in spite of the poor lighting, for which I apologize, we got two heroes here.
I'm not a hero. I'm just
Paul Horvath and Lou Milanesi.
What he said, we're not the heroes. We're just trying to make sure the heroes do not go unforgotten.
Do not go forgotten. Absolutely. And these were heroes. And they stuck together. And America didn't stand with them. Not because Americans didn't want to, but because the administration didn't pay attention or wouldn't pay attention. We shall find the truth. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
GrokTV.